Another task that I'm going to be tackling this spring is looking at the electrical systems on the boat. The Beneteau 235, very modern design in terms of its hull form and its rigging, but one of the places where it shows its age to a certain degree is in its electrical systems. It was really designed with a battery, a 4-switch fuse panel, and then some very rudimentary lighting. So we're going to tackle this on a couple of fronts. One is that we're adding shore power to the boat and bringing in 115 volt AC, and then all of the things that entails. And also going to revamp the DC side of the house. We're going to switch to a larger panel with breakers as opposed to fuses, and add a second battery, and then all the switching and the charging requirements that we'll need for that. So without any further ado, we'll take a look at some of the work that's already in progress and see where we start. So my area here is all torn up in what is normally the head and the nav area of the boat. But you can see one of the first things that we did, from the shore power, is we come into a Blue Sea Systems 15 amp breaker. So you can see, I have just turned on the system there. Now, from there, the power flows into two 30 amp ground fault interrupters. You can see one of them in the battery compartment here. And that's where what they call the shore safe grounding ends, and then the ship safe grounding begins from that point. So there's actually a break in the common earth wire at that point. Plugged into that outlet will be the boat's battery charger. Now, the battery charger that I've selected, I've mounted underneath the rail, or underneath the companionway steps. And the reason that's there is that charger is actually quite heavy, and it's better to get that heavy weight low and near the water line, or on the center line. So that's where we mounted that. Coming off of that are the leads to the two batteries. Now, as opposed to running those to the two batteries, good ABYC wiring standards say that the best place for those to go is actually to your battery switch, and that's where we've mounted a Blue Sea Systems 1+2 battery switch, and all of the wiring to the boat positive goes to one of those three terminals. Below that, you'll see the 50 amp fuse for my trolling motor, because I can't use a gas motor where I keep the boat. And then also in there, and I might show that when I finish this up, is a ground bus. So this is a heavy duty bar where all the ground to the boat ends up. From this point, the power either goes back out to the motor, or it also heads up to my new DC panel on the wall here. This is a Blue Sea Systems 8 breakers panel. I've got 5 installed now, and I will install a couple more. You can see the old panel had left a fading on the wood in the varnish that I'll have to touch up. But the nice part about this panel is these are actually breakers and not fuses. And so when this panel lights up, when the boat is energized, when the breaker is turned on, it lights. If it ever gets tripped, it goes off. Now, you'll notice they're all 15 amp breakers, and that's okay, because really all the panel is designed to do is to protect the wiring. If you've got something that needs protecting by itself, for instance like your VHF or your GPS, that will normally have its own fuse right by the device, and as a matter of fact, cutting that off will usually void the warranty. And so the rule for the wiring is that GFIs protect people, circuit breakers protect circuits, fuses protect devices. And so that's a good rule of thumb to follow. I'll be screwing that in a little bit later on after I get some more of the wiring done. But that's an overview of the wiring for right now, and I'll show you another episode once we get a little bit further down the project.